These are the plays that you need to make money in the NCAA tournament. This is the Daily Profit brought to you by Linemaker Sports. On today's show, we're going to go through some of the highest probability plays in the NCAA tournament first round, and also we're going to go through some of the stuff that's happened over the past couple days. I'll show you the results and overall for very much the last week because we've been killing it. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So let's start with Monday. All right, so on Monday for the show we had what? DeMar DeRozan, that's who it was. DeRozan to go over 25 plus. He had a 69% probability for that to happen. All right, he ended up crushing that one. All right, he killed that for sure. I think he had like 37 or something like that PRA. So that was an easy one for us. Then the next one we had up was Anthony Simons to go over 25 plus PRA. He ended up crushing that one as well. As for percentage, he had a 64% probability, so it wasn't that crazy high, but still ended up getting that one pretty easily. Then we went to the Miami Heat. We had Bam Adebayo to go under 35.5 PRA. This was pretty high probability. We had 74% probability here. And he didn't even come close whatsoever. So that one ended up hitting pretty easily. Then we ended up going with, in the NHL, Pastrnak to go over 0.5 points. He had also pretty high probability, 70% there. He ended up getting that one in the first period, so we didn't have to worry about that whatsoever. But we did take one L on the night. That was Cade Cunningham to go over 38 plus PRA. And it was a complete blowout, so he didn't play the fourth quarter. He had 36, and obviously if he played the fourth quarter, he would have crushed that number. But he ended up not playing because they were up by like 30 at one point. The Pistons were up by 30. So nothing you could do about that. That was just the blowout factor. And then yesterday we had Evan Mobley under 33.5 PRA. This was a low probability. He had 63% probability on that, but he ended up crushing that one. So he only had, I think, 21 or 22 points, rebounds, and assists. So he ended up crushing that one. So let's mark these off. We had DeRozan hit, Simmons hit, Bam hit, Pastrnak hit, Cunningham did not hit, but Mobley did. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 over the past 2 days. Over the past week, been crushing it. All right, we have been crushing it for sure. So if you guys want access to these plays, you guys want to be a part of the group, make sure you guys click the link down in the description and join the team. All right, join the winning team. If you're already on the winning team, make sure you guys throw in some comments down below so you let everybody know what's going on over here and how we're trying to change the game. And the Linemaker AI is now active in the gold membership, which is going to give the probabilities on a whole bunch of stuff. And also the spreads, money lines, totals, all that stuff as well. So make sure you guys go and check that out as well. That's the software that we've implemented now that gives you a crazy amount of plays to look at on a daily basis. All right, so if you guys are interested in that, make sure you guys click the link down in the description. Now let's go ahead and jump into the NCAA tournament. Let's talk about some of those games. So the first game we're going to talk about here is Tennessee going against Wofford. All right, so I'm going to go through some stuff with you guys that I look for. Kind of will help you guys out through the tournament as well, things that you want to pay attention to. So a lot of people will go and look at, the scoring and the defensive scoring. So how good do they score the points? How good are they on defense, just strictly scoring? The most important thing you actually have to look for is not that. You need to look for the efficiency. Offensive efficiency and defensive efficiency, because that really dictates how good they purely are on offense and defense. So that's something that I look at. So make sure you guys look at offensive efficiency and defensive efficiency. That's where you can get a good judge, and I'm going to show you kind of how that works and what it looks like. All right, so let's go offensive efficiency first. All right, rankings. So Tennessee is 50th here, and Wofford is 58th. So that's pretty decent actually for both. Okay, now defensive, here's where the difference is going to come. All right, Tennessee is 9th, which is very, very, very good. Okay, and then Wofford is 238th. Okay, now look at the difference there. That's a huge difference. Now the spread in this game right now is minus 19. All right, for Tennessee, obviously. Now, the reason why behind that is because this right here. All right, this is what you're looking for in a game. Looking for a complete mismatch, obviously, on offensive defense efficiency. So, offense, pretty good. Top 50, they're 50th. So, they have a decent, efficient offense. But Wofford can't guard anybody. All right? They just can't guard anybody. So, that's a recipe for a favorite to be able to cover here. Okay? But now, going and dating back to, obviously, what I teach, we don't take the number the sportsbook gives us, right? So this number right here, we're probably not going to grab. What we're going to do is we're going to buy that down. All right, we're going to buy this number down. And the reason why you buy that number down is because it's going to make the probability even higher. And then the true probability with the mismatch on defense is going to make it even higher. Okay, so what this is right now is Tennessee minus 13.5 right now has a 67% probability. All right, and that's dictated not just from the offensive and defensive efficiency, but also from where the money and bet percentage are going. So it's currently right now this stuff is going to change. This stuff will change. Not this, but the money bet percentage, what I'm going to show you, is going to change, but this is what it's at right now. All right, surprisingly, there's 65% of the bets coming in on Wofford plus 19. All right, but there's 88% of the money being placed on Tennessee. Okay, this is where you can get your probability and your difference at. All right, but this is what you're looking for. All right, you're looking for the public to be all over, like all the squares are on Wofford plus money, or on Wofford plus 19 here, and all the sharps are on the favorite this matchup. So what do we have here? We have a classic case of a good offense going against a terrible defense, a great defense going against a pretty good offense, but this is a top 10 defense here. So what should happen here is obviously Tennessee should be able to dominate Wofford. Okay, they should be able to come out and perform pretty good, and that's why this money percentage here is showing that. So probability-wise, what do we got? We got minus 13.5. We got 67% probability there. All right, so that's one game. Let's talk about another one. This one's probably my favorite one to do, to be honest, and it's going to consist of one of the best teams in the nation. All right, so we got Houston going against SIU Edwardville. I'm just going to put SIU. All right, we don't need to put the whole thing. So let's take a look at offensive efficiency numbers. All right, we got Houston is 24th, so that's good. SIU is 237th. That's not too good. All right, defensive wise, there goes a crazy mismatch here, right? We got Houston first, and then SIU, we have 39th, with actually not that bad. So they're pretty decent on defense. But look at this complete mismatch here. All right, that's a crazy mismatch. You got the best defense efficiency in the nation going against one of the most terrible offenses, efficiency-wise, in the nation. SIU here is going to struggle to score. That's for sure. The spread right now on this is 29, okay? Which is a crazy amount, obviously. But you're going to have to manipulate this number too, okay? You have to, because 29, you could still have a dominating performance by Houston, but then they sub players in and stuff or whatnot, and then they end up winning by 28 or 27 or something like that. Okay, but let's look at the money bet percentage here. This one kind of shocked me a little bit. All right, we had 75% of the bets, that's square money, coming in on SIU. Don't really know what the public's looking at there. I think they're seeing this number and they're like, oh man, like that's a lot of points. I just think that's what they're looking at. All right, but we have 60% of the money coming in on Houston. All right, so again, this is where we want classic case of SIU should be struggling to score for sure. All right, offensively, Houston, they're not going to struggle to score even with SIU being pretty decent defense. It's probably not going to affect them too much. But the money, I don't know what the public's looking at here. Like I said, the only thing I can think they're looking at is a crazy big number, and they're just thinking like, oh, let me get plus 30 on a team and see what happens. And I just think that's probably what they're looking at here. All right, but based off of all that, we have a 71% probability of Houston being able to cover the alternate number of 23. All right, so if you alternate down to 23, we got a 71% chance of that happening, which includes the money bet percentage and the offensive efficiency, defensive efficiency kind of mismatch that we got going on there. All right, but you can adapt what I just showed you for offensive efficiency, defensive efficiency. You can adapt that to everything on the slate and kind of look and see how that stuff works. Okay, this is just an example of a couple that I liked that I was looking at. Okay, because obviously the 71% one is the one that I really like. The number one team in the nation, all right? Going against, well, not number one team in the nation, the number one seed, going against a complete mismatch here. Like I said, SIU should struggle to score. So that's a recipe for somebody to be able to cover a big number. Got to have defense to be able to cover big numbers. And this is the best case scenario for that. So Houston minus that 23. 23 alternate number, that's not crazy because they'll still keep their starters in if it gets somewhere in that realm. 30 plus, yeah, they're pulling people, and then last minute buckets could screw you on minus 29. So that's why we're alternating that number. Tennessee here, like again, we have a kind of a mismatch here with Tennessee's offense going against Wofford's defense, where they should be able to put up some good points. Again, to cover decent numbers, you got to have a good defense. So defensive efficiency, Tennessee's 9th going against an offense that is decent, not crazy good, but decent. But you have a top 10 defense. That's what you need. Those are the recipes you need for favorites to cover pretty big numbers. Okay, this isn't really that big of a number. 13.5 ain't that big of a number. All right, but that is what you were looking for day one of the NCAA tournament. All right, like I said, guys, if you guys want all the plays for the NCAA tournament, you guys want access to the software, you want to learn how to do it, I got it all. All right, all you got to do is click the link down in the description. It's that simple. All right, as always, guys, I'm Frank with Linemaker Sports. See you guys in the next show. Till then, I'm out.